I want to thank our reader, Reverend Catherine Bonin, and the Chariot duo, Amy and Jesse, Karen Drucker, and Gary Lynn Floyd, and our CSL music team for the wonderful music to support the message today. As we continue on this journey through the untethered soul, we're concentrating today on chapters 3 and 4, Who Are You? And the Lucid Self. Last week we talked about not being entangled with our thoughts. And this week we look at how we oftentimes allow our thoughts to construct who we think we are. And as we embark on this transformative journey, inspired by the insights from these chapters, we open our hearts and minds to explore the depths of our true being. First, let me give you your question for the week. What's the one choice you can make today to let go of the story of who you are, to realize your true home is the seat of consciousness, and to know awareness is key to return to the root of your being? One more time. What's the one choice you can make today to let go of your story of who you are, to realize your true home is the seat of consciousness, and to know awareness is key to returning to the root of your being? Singer's chapter on Who Are You begins with this paragraph. Ramana Maharshi, a great teacher in the yogi tradition, used to say that to attain inner freedom, one must continuously and sincerely ask the question, who am I? He taught that this was more important than reading books, learning mantras, or going to holy places. Just ask, who am I? Who sees when I see? Who hears when I hear? Who knows that I am aware? Who am I? When we really think about it, these questions are quite profound, and that inquiry echoes through the corridors of our consciousness. Who are we really? If someone asks us, we might give them our name, or depending upon the circumstance, we might say what we do for a living, or whose mom or dad we happen to be. Yet none of those answers are the essence of who we are. They're just labels or stories we tell about ourselves. And Singer tells us that the essence of who we are at age 10 is the same as the essence of who we are at age 25, age 35, or any other age. Even though when we look in the mirror at those ages, we might believe we see very different people. In these chapters, Singer asks, what about you, the one who is looking? Isn't there a continuity of being? Wasn't it the same being that looked in the mirror throughout the years? When I stop and think about that, though my body has changed and my looks have changed dramatically through the years, the amount of insight I might have as a person on this planet has changed throughout the years. I'm still, in essence, the same child of the divine, the same expression of myself, morphed through human time, but the same in God's time. The outside world and the flow of inner emotions come and go, but you, the one who experiences these things, remain consciously aware of whatever passes before you. And Singer also writes, if you really want to know who you are, take a look at your thoughts. This invites us to question the identity we construct based upon our thoughts, emotions, and external roles. So let's take a moment to reflect on the illusion of identity and the essence that lies beyond. As we learned last week, we are not the voice of the mind. Rather, we're the one who hears it. And our true nature is as the silent observer. the witness to the ever-changing drama of our inner world. To truly discover who we are, we continue our journey inward and cultivate an awareness of this observer within us. How did you do this past week in taking time to just be the silent observer? Was it an interesting exercise to notice what you were thinking? Singer wrote in this week's reading, you will begin to notice who is experiencing the experience. Eventually, you will get to a point within yourself where you realize that you, the experiencer, have a certain quality. And that quality is awareness, consciousness, an intuitive sense of existence. Our reading today was from the chapter called The Lucid Self. And when I first read that TV analogy, I thought about all the times that I was working in cubes in an office building. I became extremely good at tuning out the outer environment and just concentrating on what I was trying to accomplish. I didn't need to wear headphones, and yet when people would come to my cube and try to talk to me, because my back was turned to them, I rarely heard them, and I typically had tuned them out to the point of wasn't even totally aware of their presence. I eventually had to put up a little sign that said, wave your hands in front of me to get my attention. And sometimes I'd even be startled when they would do that because I was in such deep concentration. My concentration was not of a spiritual level, and yet it did teach me that I have the capacity to tune into what I want to tune into and to let go of the rest of the outer involvement in the world. The practice is to apply this to our spiritual essence. The lucid self, which Singer introduces us to, is a state of self-awareness beyond the fluctuations of thoughts and emotions. He writes this, you are not the experience, you are the one who experiences the experience. This profound insight invites us to recognize ourselves as that spacious awareness that perceives all phenomenal. The lucid self is a sanctuary, a space of unshakable clarity and presence amidst the turbulence of the mind. And as we deepen our connection with this essence, we discover a profound sense of peace and freedom. There was a young girl named Maya who lived in this quiet village. It was nestled between the mountains and the lush forest. And from a young age, she possessed a very curious spirit, always eager to explore the mysteries of the world around her. Yet amidst the bustling streets and chatter of daily life, she often found herself feeling overwhelmed by the constant stream of thoughts and emotions that flooded her mind. And one day, as she was wandering through the village, she stumbled upon an old bookstore. It was tucked away in this little cobblestone alley. And intrigued, she went in, and amidst the rows of withered books, she discovered a worn copy of The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. As she flipped through the pages, she felt a spark of recognition and a stirring deep within her soul. And so as the weeks passed, she immersed herself in the wisdom of Singer's words, and particularly the chapter on the lucid self that described a state of self-awareness beyond the fluctuations of thoughts and emotions. This sanctuary of clarity and presence within truly appealed to Maya. And so, inspired by the possibility of discovering her own lucid self, she embarked on a journey of inner exploration. She began practicing mindfulness, gently observing the thoughts and emotions that arose within her without getting swept away by them. And with each passing day, she cultivated a sense of spacious awareness, allowing the turbulent currents of her mind to settle into silence. And one evening, beneath a canopy of towering oak trees, she closed her eyes and delved into meditation. And as her breath deepened and her awareness expanded, Maya felt herself slipping into a state of profound tranquility. And in that moment, she experienced a shift, a subtle yet undeniable recognition of her true essence. In the silence of that inner sanctuary, Maya discovered the lucid self. And it was a radiant presence that transcended limitations of her thoughts and emotions. It was as if she had tapped into a boundless reservoir of peace and clarity, a wellspring of wisdom that flowed from the depths of her being. And as she grew closer to her authentic self, a self that was unbound by the constraints of identity or circumstances, she found solace and strength and a profound sense of freedom. And as she emerged from that meditation, she carried the light of her discovery with her. It was like a beacon of radiant awareness illuminating her path. And with each step, she walked in harmony with the rhythm of life, guided by the unwavering presence of her lucid self. Maya's journey led her to navigate the complexities of her inner world with grace and ease, and embrace each moment as an opportunity for growth and awakening. And like Maya, we can each embrace that journey of reconnecting with our lucid self, allowing its wisdom to guide us in every moment into that sense of peace and freedom. I know that I want that. How about you? You might notice that Maya discovered her lucid self first through practicing mindfulness and then through meditation. And Singer definitely recommends meditation as one approach. And if you think you can't meditate, try it for 2 minutes, just 2 minutes. If your mind wanders, just keep bringing it back to your breath. And after you've mastered the 2 minutes, increase the time little by little. At some point, you'll notice that you really don't want to come back from the meditation. It's just so relaxing. Singer suggests this: what differentiates a conscious, centered being from a person who is not so conscious is simply the focus of their awareness. It's not a difference in the consciousness itself. All consciousness is the same. Just as all light from the sun is the same, all awareness is the same. Consciousness is neither pure nor impure. It has no qualities. It's just there, aware that it's aware. I love that line that there's not a difference in consciousness itself, that all consciousness is the same, because it's so in alignment with our one life, one being, one God, all part of who we are. And true meditation takes us from that self, that's the little self, that's the finite self, to the infinite self. When your dreams are lucid, you're aware that you're dreaming. And the lucid self can be understood along similar lines. This self is aware that it is aware. It knows it's the receiver of those experiences and thoughts and emotions. And because of the awareness, it's not lost in any of the thoughts or the emotions it experiences. You choose what to focus on with your consciousness. When you let it roam, your consciousness can focus on objects, experience, thoughts, or emotions, and lose its awareness of everything else. Your consciousness can get so preoccupied with your thoughts and emotions, the sights and sound around you, that it becomes one with them. When you focus on objects, thoughts, or emotions too closely, they pull you in and absorb your consciousness. It's kind of like that squirrel and from that movie. You become unaware that you are the one experiencing the objects and thinking the thoughts or feeling the emotions. And when you lose awareness of your consciousness, you lose the perception of yourself as the subject and perceive yourself as part of your experiences. When you're centered, when your self is lucid, you're aware of your consciousness as being independent of the objects around and within you. You're aware of your thoughts, aware of your awareness. The goal of true meditation is to get you to this level of awareness. It's to separate your consciousness from your experiences so that you can see the world and your problems objectively. I know I want to be able to truly contemplate the nature of self, and Singer suggests this. When you contemplate the nature of self, you're meditating. That's why meditating is the highest state. It's a return to the root of your being, the simple awareness of being aware. So as we said last week, the more you're willing to just let the world be something that you're aware of, the more it will let you be who you are. So awareness is key. And I want to end with these words of Singer. You can move from the finite to the infinite. Isn't this what they've been trying to tell us? Christ, Buddha, and the great saints and sages of all time and all religions. One of these great saints, Ramana Maharshi, used to ask, "Who am I?" We see now that this is a very deep question. Ask it ceaselessly, constantly. Ask it, and you will notice that you are the answer. There is no intellectual answer. You are the answer. Be the answer, and everything will change. You are the answers, so keep asking that question, who am I? And keep meditating to become more and more consciously aware of the truth of who you are. So in summary, how might you fully tap into who you are and that lucid self? Remember, let go of the story of who you are. There's a continuity of your being beyond the story. See the essence of your existence. Realize that your true home is awareness consciousness. So go beyond your thoughts and emotions. The lucid self is a sanctuary of unshakable clarity and presence. Know awareness is key. Practice mindfulness and meditation. Learn to focus on awareness to consciously be who you are. So here's your affirmation for the week. How is it I so willingly, energetically, and effortlessly let go of my story of who I am? Realize my true home is the seat of consciousness, and know awareness is key to returning to the root of my being. And your challenge this week is to let go of your story and realize your true home is awareness consciousness. Find a way each day to let go of your stories and know that awareness is key to returning to the root of your being. Let go of all of those things. Try mindfulness. Try meditation. Let's pray. So we take a collective breath and we just tap into this community of love and kindness and connection. And we just feel that essence of our being, that awareness of our consciousness, that connection that we have with the divine. What I know to be the truth is that this week, we are each practicing mindfulness or meditation or some form of spiritual practice that is allowing us to become more consciously aware. That's the key to returning to the root of our being. So as we become more and more aware of the essence of who we are, of the essence of our being, what I know is that we continue to focus on expanding the essence of ourselves, to focus on the truth of who we are. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for knowing that the God without is the God within us. That our essence is the same at age 10, 25, 35, or 75. It doesn't matter. We're all children of the divine, in whom God is very well pleased. And so, knowing this to be the truth, I just say amen and we can affirm it together. And so it is. And I thank everyone that continues to support us on our journey through becoming more of a spiritual community and possibly even being able to get us a new home. I'm so grateful. Enjoy our offertory song.